Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's November 26th. So, today is a prime example of why I am so adamant about doing the shadow work and making sure that you understand yourself thoroughly. Because today's energy is actually really, really nice. It's fun, it's lighthearted, but there's definitely some testing of boundaries in the air as well. So we have the sun in Sagittarius, which is fun, lighthearted, little party energy, in a trine to Mars in Leo, which is kind of childlike and fun and enjoying and creative and just kind of a warm and fuzzy type of energy for the day. And they're creating an aspect pattern called a kite with the nodes. And it's with the north node being the leading point of this kite. That's the direction that it's heading, right? So there's this push to move forward for yourself as an individual, for the things that light you up, for the things that really keep you moving, right? And there's the push to let go of that people pleasing. Remember, other people's opinions of you is none of your business. That is definitely a motto for today. Yeah, you can still be kind to people. You can still be considerate of other people, but you don't have to take on other people's opinions of what you should be doing with your life if their opinions are going to drag you backwards and keep you from moving forward for yourself, right? But we also have the moon still in Libra, so that's putting that Venus in Capricorn in charge for the day on like a subconscious and emotional level. So there's still these boundaries that need to be maintained. There's a need to stand up for yourself, protect your emotional self, your intuition, listening hard to your intuition, making sure that you're paying attention, and really standing up for yourself as an individual within your relationships with others. And that Venus is going to create an inconjunct with Jupiter retrograde. Now the moon is going to come along and it's going to activate that inconjunct. Actually, it's going to square Venus, creating a conflict and a trine to Jupiter, which is that wide open door to these old conversations. Gives me that energy of the old conversation, the old argument that comes up every few months and never gets resolved. It just keeps happening over and over and over again. This is that moment where you've got to make a decision. Which way are you going to go on it? Are you going to lean into the people pleasing and, okay, whatever, we'll do what you say and let it come back up again in a few months? Or are you finally going to put your foot down and say, nope, this is how I feel about this situation, take it or leave it? So there's a little bit of a crossroads kind of energy in the air today when it comes to our relationships with others, and making sure that you are going towards the things that really light you up and letting go of that like mediator, devil's advocate kind of energy, the people pleasing, the codependency, and definitely moving forward for yourself. My chihuahua's having a hard time getting on the couch. Oh, I think he made it. So our cards of the day, we have the energy is the Two of Pentacles. This is where we're weighing things. We're trying to figure out where our grounded space is, where our center is, right? You're really weighing the things that give you stability, that help you feel good in where you're at. You know, which way do you need to go in order to feel grounded and balanced? I know I've said this before, when it comes to that Libra energy of that South Node, Libra, we really need to be embracing the idea of justice and pushing justice energy outwardly in order to find the balance within us. Because in order to create balance around you through playing mediator and the middle ground person, what you end up doing is you end up giving up of yourself in order to make everybody else around you more happy and more balanced, which then leads to an imbalance within yourself. And it just kind of creates this big circle, right? So we want to let go of that people pleasing and the codependency and the playing mediator and devil's advocate, and make sure that we're standing up for ourselves. And you can do that by still being a kind person. You don't have to be an asshole to do it, okay? What we are focusing on is the sun. So definitely focus on what lights you up, what gives you that energy, what gives you that very that childlike excitement type of energy. That's what we need to be moving forward towards. We need to be moving towards the things that light us up as individuals, not as a couple, as a friendship, as a partnership, but as an individual. You should be able to be who you are as an individual within your relationships and friendships and partnerships, okay? That's kind of the whole purpose of this. We don't completely let go of relationships. We figure out how to create a balanced relationship by being individuals within them. If your identity is the relationship itself, then you're not being your true self within that relationship. You're taking on the other person's personality and vice versa a lot of times. Actually, most of the time, those are unequal relationships. But definitely make sure that you are being who you are. You're letting go of other people's opinions. You are doing the things that make you feel energetic and feeding your soul. What we are avoiding, though, is the tower. Again, you don't have to be an asshole. You don't have to completely blow everything up to stand up for yourself, to have boundaries. If somebody else wants to blow it up, and let them blow it up. But you as an individual, all you have to do is say, no, I don't want to do that. You don't have to blow things up to go your own direction. If they don't want to hold on to it, that's fine, but whatever. But you as an individual, if the people around you can't accept that you need to be who you are and do the things that light you up and bring you joy, that's their problem, not yours, okay? So really make sure that you are standing up for yourself, but you just don't have to be a complete jerk about it. We do have Mars getting ready to station retrograde in about a week and a half, so this story is most likely not over. It's really just a beginning of making sure that you are being yourself in this new energy that we're in, especially with Pluto now in Aquarius. A lot of deep, dark secrets about things are going to start coming up. You really want to make sure that you are good and solid in who you are as an individual so that you don't get lost in the drama that is about to unfold in the world around us and in your social life and in your work environment and so on. So the bottom of the deck is Seven of Pentacles. This is really about making those adjustments that you need to make for yourself, weeding things out of your life so that your garden can continue to grow type of energy. Where do you need to fertilize your what it is that you're growing, and just making those little adjustments as you go along throughout the day in order to make sure that you're doing the things that light you up, okay? Let's pull some clarifiers for the Two of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. There's that conversation and Ace of Wands. So are we going to have that argument again, or are we just going to do what we need to do for ourselves, right? We're going to chase the things that bring us passion, chase your new drive forward, right? Like I said, there's a real good chance that one of those old arguments that never got resolved could very potentially come up again today. It's perfectly acceptable to say, look, I'm not doing this again. You know, you can this throws me out of balance. It's frustrating. We've had this argument before. This is how I feel about it, and leave it at that and continue to go on your way. If they want to argue, let them argue with themselves. You know, so this is really just making sure that you are finding your balance and you're not continuously getting dragged backwards into like the same old situations over and over and over again. Okay, let's pull some clarifiers for the Sun. Eight of Swords and Five of Cups. That's actually really interesting. So this is kind of giving me the idea that, like, honestly, we already have Mercury retrograde, right? So Mercury is having us review a lot of things. It's like kind of stuck in that mental prison kind of energy, being in that mutual reception with the Jupiter retrograde that's going to be highlighted today by the moon. We've got this like being stuck in the mental prison and the regret and everything, right? But make sure that you are like, maybe there are a few things that you regret. Heck, maybe you need to go back. Maybe you realize that you screwed up somewhere and you need to go back and have some conversations, right? But just make sure that you're focusing on what it is that's lighting you up. This is very much kind of giving me the idea that like you dimmed your own light in the past, and now you're in your head about it, and you're in a place of regret about that because you put yourself aside for other people, other people's opinions, other people's ideas of who you should be, right? So it's like we're kind of going backwards a bit in order to move forward, if that makes sense. So where is it in your head that you're realizing that you've dimmed your own light, you've put out your own candle, right? You've put out your own fire to make other people more comfortable with you and who you are, right? So really focus on that today. So let's see. The Tower. Why are we avoiding the Tower today? Oops. Knight of Pentacles, because things are moving slow. This is a long unfolding story, okay? And the Magician. Yeah, so yeah, this is a long unfolding story. This may even be something that you've already manifested in your life or something that you were planning on manifesting. But there's something in your life that you have been working on for yourself, that you've been trying to build for yourself. And today might bring up a moment where you're like, do I just throw it all away or do I keep moving forward? Keep moving forward. Don't allow other people to drag you down. Don't just blow things up because things are hard in a moment. Make sure that you're focusing on yourself and what you need. Enjoy the fun energy. We do have 6 of Wands on the bottom. So there is like this victorious kind of energy underlying here. Sometimes we have a tendency to let those feel-good days have us putting the harder stuff, like this stuff here, on the back burner, and we don't actually deal with what needs to be dealt with because we're like, ooh, things feel good, I don't want to ruin it, right? Don't do that to yourself. Make sure that you're still being true to yourself, even if it means pissing somebody else off. Again, you don't have to be a complete jerk about it, but you can have your boundaries and you can speak up for yourself and you can follow your own path. And if other people don't like that, that is their problem, not yours.